Good day, everyone. In this video, we'll be presenting our topic entitled Soils in the Philippines, Understanding the Importance of Soil Conservation. In this presentation, we'll be exploring the different types of soil, the threats they face, and sustainable practices we can use to help protect them.
Our objectives for this topic, we will identify and describe Filipino soil types, understand the human impact on soil health, and lastly, we will promote sustainable soil management. Importance of soil. So what is soil? Soil is a mix of tiny rock particles and decaying plants or animals called humus. It forms the surface layer of the earth and helps plant grow. Soil develops over thousands of years through weathering and biological activity. Soil is a vital resource that supports life on Earth. It's not just dirt, it's a complex and essential part of our planet. There are key roles of soil: ecological, and economic and social. Ecological role supports plant growth, provides habitats for living organisms, and helps control the climate by storing carbon. Next is economic and social role. Soil is vital for farming and food production. It also affects health, culture, and even recreation. In short, soil conservation keeps the environment balanced and supports a sustainable future.
Soil development. So, the soil development process often begins when weathering breaks solid bedrocks into smaller pieces. So, these pieces of rocks continue to undergo weathering and break down into smaller pieces. So, worms and other organisms help break down organic matter and add nutrients to the soil as well as creating passage for air and water, as shown in figure 7.16. So makita na to sa figure 7.16 nga naay mga ilaga og worms. So kani mga ilaga is og kaning worms is gahimo silang passage nga pwede og agian sa pwede agian sa air and water. So as nutrients are added to the soil, its texture changes and soil capacity to hold water mag-increase siya. While all soil contains some organic matter in various states of decay. The amount of varies widely among the different types of soil. During the process of its formation, soil develop layers. So most of the volume of soil is formed from the weathered products of a source rock called the parent materials. So the parent materials of a soil is often the bedrock. So as the parent materials weathers, the weathering product rests on top of the parent materials. So over time, a layer of the smallest pieces of weathered rocks develop, develop above the parent material. So eventually, living organisms like plants and animals establish themselves in the materials, utilizing nutrients and contributing organic matter. Rainwater seeps through the top layer of materials and dissolves soluble minerals, carrying them into the lower layer of the soil. So, a soil whose parent materials is the local bedrock is called the residual soil. So, ang residual soil is the soils remain where it was formed. And ang example of residual soil is the Kentucky's bluegrass soil and the red soils in Georgia. Pero dili tanan soils is developed from local bedrocks. Natay transported soil. So ang transported soils is soils from parent materials that has been moved far away from its original location by agents of erosion such as water and winds. So makita nato sa figure 7.17 ang transported soil. So makita nato diri ang soil is made siya from parent materials nga na move sa iyang original yun nga source. So it does not come from the bedrocks directly underneath the valley. So ang river is the agent of erosion and transport here. It carries weathered rock pieces called sediments from upstream location. So as the fast-moving river slows down on the wide valley floor, galus siya og energy. So kani siya mag-cause ni siya sa river to drop the sediments nga iyang gina-carry. So kani siya nga process is called deposition. So ang soil na gina-deposit by the flowing water or the river is specifically called alluvial soil. Alluvial soil are typically very rich and fertile because they contain a mix of nutrients gathered from all the different rock upstream.
Now let's talk about different soil layers. Soil is made up of several layers, also called horizons. The O horizon is the top organic layer made of decomposed material. Next is the A horizon or topsoil. It is where seeds germinate and plant roots grow. The E horizon is a lighter layer where materials are leached or washed out. Below that is the B horizon, also known as the subsoil. It holds minerals and nutrients that filter down from above. The C horizon or regolith is made up of slightly broken up bedrock. And finally, the R horizon is the solid and weathered bedrock layer. Each layer plays an important role in supporting plant life and the ecosystem. This slide illustrates the different soil textures based on the size of the soil particles: sand, sandalum, and clay. Sand has the largest particles, which allows water to drain rapidly, making it less suitable for retaining nutrients. Sandalum is a mixture of sand, silt, and clay. It has moderate drainage and is considered the best soil for most plants because it retains nutrient and water well. Clay has the smallest particles and can hold water for a long time, but it drains very slowly. It can sometimes lead to poor aeration for plant roots. This chart shows the water drainage rate for each type of soil, which is crucial for determining how suitable each soil type is for different kind of plants. Now let's proceed to soil characteristics based on soil color. A dark-colored soil means it has a high percentage of organic matter, which makes it more fertile and good for plant growth. A reddish one usually indicates good drainage and the presence of iron oxide. A yellowish soil is also well drained, but has a lower amount of organic matter compared to dark soil. Meanwhile, a grayish one shows poor drainage and low organic content, which makes it less fertile.
Types of soil in the Philippines. As an archipelago of more than 7,100 islands, the Philippines is blessed with a natural diversity of soil resources. The task of configuring these soil resources, classifying the soils on the basis of its natural history, assessing its agricultural potential in terms of suitability to economically important crops, and productivity for sustainable production, falls on the Bureau of Soils and Water Management. The Philippines Bureau of Soils and Water Management, or BSWM in short, is an agency of the Philippine government under the Department of Agriculture responsible for advising and rendering assistance on matters relative to the utilization of soils and water as vital agricultural resources.
Philippine major soil types. Based on interpretation of the soil map of the Philippines by Mariano and Valdemediano 1972 as cited by Badayas 1994, the country's soils may be grouped into six soil orders, namely ultisols, alphisols, inceptisols, vertisols, intsols, and oxysols. Except for the aridosols and spodosols, the other soil orders like histolisols and mollisols are also observed but to a limited extent by Muog 2006.
First Philippine major soil type is ultisols. Ultisols are a type of soil order characterized by low fertility, high acidity, and high clay content, often found in humid, subtropical, and tropical regions. Require careful management for sustainable use. Ang ultisol kay nasa 41.5% of the country's land area o hindi po ng mga soil ay commonly found in upland areas and are suitable for crops like pineapple, cassava, sugarcane, and banana. Location, position, and land use of ultisols. Ultisols are found in Rizal, Laguna, Zambales, Cavite, Bulacan, Misamis Oriental, Zamboanga, Davao, and Oriental Mindoro. So makita nato ang ultisols sa mga elevated terraces, Pinemount Hills and Mountains, and suitable po siya sa mga pineapple, cassava, sugarcane, banana, and forest tree species.
The next soil type is alphisol. So, Alphisols are a soil order characterized by moderate to high fertility, often found in temperate and subtropical regions, with a clay-enriched subsoil and a relatively high base saturation, making them suitable for agriculture and forestry, and supporting a wide range of crops and vegetation. So, alphisols cover about 9.9% of the land area, and alphisols form through the process called elevation, where clay and minerals move downward from the upper layer or the A horizon and accumulate into subsoil or the B horizon. And alphy soil is developed from varied parent materials such as glacial deposit, volcanic ash, or sedimentary rocks. So, alphy soil has light to dark brown color depending on organic matter, and it is one of the 12 soil order in the USDA soil taxonomy. So, ang alphy soil is, ang iyang location is sa Ilocos Sur, Ilocos Norte, Occidental Mindoro, Batanes, Quezon City, and Cagayan. And and these soils are typically found in old river and hilly areas and is sustainable for fruit trees and bananas.
Inceptisols. Inceptisols are a soil order characterized by moderate weathering and development, often found in areas with moderate climate and topography, exhibiting a range of properties and fertility levels, making them suitable for various land uses and agricultural applications. Making up around 13.7% of the land area, these soils are found both upland and lowland areas, suitable for paddy rice, diversified crops, and fruit trees. Ano yung location, position, and land use sa insectisols? So, insectisols can be located in Samar, Agusan, Iloilo, Pangasinan, Mindoro, at Palawan. Its position is level to nearly level, alluvial plain, traces, pans, hilly, and nearly mountainous. And ang land use is paddy rice, diversified crops, and fruit trees.
Vertisols are a soil ordered characterized by high clay content exhibiting significant shrink-swell properties, often forming deep cracks when dry and swelling when moist. It is typically found in regions with distinct wet and dry seasons and requiring careful management for agricultural use due to their unique physical properties. Comprising around 3.6 of the land area, these soils are mostly found in lowland areas, suitable for rice and some vegetables. Also, vertisols is unique where unique from other soil because it has a shrink swell behavior that makes them unique, like the soil is very fertile but unstable, presenting challenges for both construction and farming. The location for lowland areas that has vertisols is Bulacan, Cavite, Bataan, Cagayan, Zambales, and Nueva Ecija, La Union, and Tarlac. Their position is alluvial plains and alluvial terraces. In explanation, an alluvial plain is a broad, flat expanse built up by a river system through long-term deposition of sediment, where the contemporary flood plain is the currently active low-lying part. Also, an alluvial terrace is an old abandoned floodplain that now sits as a flat bench at a higher elevation, separated from the current river level because the river has incised or cut downwards into the valley floor.
Antisols. Antisols are a type of soil that has minimal development and a lack of distinct horizons, meaning they don't have clear soil layers like other types. They are usually found in areas with recent deposits or frequent disturbances, such as floodplains, dunes, or landslides. Because of this, their fertility and productivity can vary a lot depending on the specific conditions of the area. Antisols cover about 2.5% of the land area. You can often find them in floodplains, rough or broken lands, and along coastal areas. These soils are also suitable for growing diversified crops, fruit trees, and coconuts. This shows the location, Position, and land use of antisols. Antisols are commonly found in different parts of the Philippines such as Siargao, Leyte, Zambales, Bicol, Ilocos Sur, Ilocos Norte, Palawan, Pangasinan, Samar, Iloilo, and Agusan. In terms of position, these soils are usually located in floodplains, rough or broken lands, and along coastal areas. These are areas that often experience erosion or frequent changes in soil deposits. For land use, antisols are suitable for growing fruit trees, paddy rice, coconuts, and are also used for pasture in hilly to mountainous landscapes.
And last Philippine major soil type is oxysols. Oxysols are a soil order characterized by advanced weathering and extreme leaching, often found in tropical and subtropical regions with high level of iron and aluminum oxides, low fertility and limited agricultural potential without intensive management due to their unique chemical and physical properties, making up a small portion of a land area which is 0.3% lang. It is because I due to their unique chemical and physical properties. So this soil also are typically found in undulating and rolling areas. Oxysols are found in Rizal, Northern Quezon, and Palawan. So ang position sa oxysols kay sa undulating, rolling, hilly, and mountainous and other stable landscape. So suitable pod ang oxysols sa mga kugon, talahib, second growth blushes and shrubs and tree type species.
Now, let's talk about the other three soil types. So first we have andosols, found in area with volcanic parent materials. These soils have high organic matter content and excellent water retention. So andosols is often dark, fertile, and rich in minerals. These soils are often formed from volcanic ash, lava, or other volcanic materials. The main characteristic of this soil is it contains minerals like allopain and ignolite which help retain nutrients, and it is usually soft, loose, and easy to cultivate. And the soils have high water holding capacity. The second type is mollysols. These soils are fertile and have high base saturation, making them suitable for various crops. So, mollysols is a dark, rich soils that form under grassland and contains lots of organic matter from decayed grasses. So, the key characteristic of this soil is it has soft and crumbly texture, making it easy to till. And fun fact about this soil is mollis means soft in Latin, describing how easy it is to plow this soil. So the third type is histosols. These soils are formed from accumulated organic matter and they are found in limited areas eh, of the country. So histosols form in wet, swampy, or marshy areas where plant materials do not do not fully decompose. So this soil is mostly made up of organic matter, not mineral soil. So the characteristic of this soil is its dark brown to black color and its spongy texture. And histosols is very rich in organic matter but can be acidic.
So, morning human activities nga nag-affect sa soil, which is deforestation, overfarming, pollution, and urbanization. First is deforestation. Deforestation causes soil erosion and loss of organic matter. But first, unsang soil erosion? Ang soil erosion is when the top layer of the soil gets worn away by natural forces like rain, wind, and water flow. Deforestation causes soil erosion because inig pagputol sa mga punuan, ang mga roots kay dili na makahold sa soil together. Ang roots sa trees kay nagahelp manggod og keep sa soil nga firm og nagaprevent pod sa soil from being washed or blown away. Without trees, rainwater easily washes the loose soil, especially sa mga hills or slopes. Over time, this leads to the loss of rich topsoil that plants need to grow, making the land dry, unproductive, and more prone to flooding.
Overfarming consequences. Overfarming highlights key threats like soil compaction, nutrients depletion, loss of organic matter. So in soil compaction, heavy machinery compresses soil, reducing air and water flow. Therefore, in soil compaction, the soil is being compacted or pressed down, making the air and water escape, while also in nutrition depletion, continuous cropping without replenishment exhausts soil fertility. So the nutrients depletes. So in one soil, all some of the nutrients will be gone, while in loss of organic matter, the overuse and erosion strip away the life-giving components of soil. So, in loss of organic matter, kay ang mga naghatag kinabuhi sa soil kay anam-anam na siya kawala kay tungod sa ka-overuse niya.
Pollution is one of the major human activities that negatively affects the soil. It happens when harmful substances like chemicals, plastics, waste, or industrial byproducts are dumped or left on the ground. When these materials mix with the soil, they reduce its fertility and destroy the natural balance of nutrients and microorganisms that plants need to grow. Some pollutants, like heavy metals or toxic chemicals, can stay on the soil for a long time, making it unsafe for agriculture and even harmful to humans and animals. In short, pollution leads to soil degradation, which means the land becomes less productive and harder to use for farming or vegetation.
Urbanization. Urbanization means the growth of towns and cities as more people move from rural areas to urban ones. This process increases buildings, roads, and other infrastructures. While it supports development, it also reduces green spaces and affects the natural environment, especially the soil. So, soil compaction, soil sealing, and soil sealing. Soil compaction happens when soil particles are pressed tightly together, usually due to heavy vehicles, construction, or people frequently walking on it. This reduces air spaces in the soil, making it harder for water to pass through and for roots to grow. Soil sealing. Soil sealing occurs when the land surface is covered by concrete, asphalt, or other materials during construction. This completely blocks water, air, and roots from reaching the soil. Sealed soil loses its natural function, like supporting plants, filtering water, and storing carbon, leading to increased flooding and environmental damage.
Now we're gonna talk about the sustainable soil management practices and conservation strategies. So first we have crop rotation, organic farming, conservation tillage, agroforestry, terracing, contour farming, and mulching. So first we have crop rotation. So crop rotation is the practice of planting different types of crops in the same area in a planned sequence or cycle over several seasons or years. So instead of growing the same crop continuously. So crop rotation is one of the oldest and most effective way farmers keep soil healthy and productive. So, ang crop rotation is ka-improve siya sa soil fertility, reduces pests and diseases, and enhances soil structure.
Next is organic farming. Unsa ng organic farming? Organic farming is a way of growing crops, raising animals naturally without using chemical fertilizers or pesticides. Organic farming kay nagabuild og soil organic matter, naga-reduce og chemical use, and promotes biodiversity by using natural methods instead of synthetic chemicals. Ang farmers kay nag-add og compost, animal manure or poop sa mga hayop, and crop residues or leftover parts sa mga plants. Giadli sila sa soil which improve its nutrients and structure. They also avoid chemical fertilizers and pesticides para makip ang soil ug water clean. By planting different crops and using natural pest control, ang organic farming kay nagasupport og many kinds of plants, insects, and animals, helping create a healthy and balanced ecosystem.
Conservation tillage is an umbrella term for farming methods that severely limit soil disturbance, leaving at least 30% crop residue on the surface, which effectively act as an armor against wind and water. This protective residue and minimal disruption significantly reduce soil erosion and improve the ground's ability to absorb and hold moisture. Furthermore, by leaving the soil intact and increasing organic matter conservation, tillage creates a healthier, less disturbed environment that promotes a thriving community of beneficial soil biota like earthworms and microbes. Also, conservation tillage is um it is a practice that helps the soil be to not be overused by humans.
Agroforestry is one of the sustainable soil management and conservation strategies. It involves growing trees and crops together on the same land, which helps maintain a healthy and balanced environment. Agroforestry improves soil fertility because the trees add organic matter to the leaves and roots, enriching the soil with nutrients. It also reduces soil erosion, since the roots of trees and plants help hold the soil in place to prevent it from being washed away by rain. In addition, agroforestry enhances biodiversity by creating habitats for different plants and animals, promoting a more stable and productive ecosystem. Overall, this practice supports both agriculture and environmental conservation, making it a sustainable way to manage soil resources.
Next is contour farming. Contour farming is a soil conservation method where farmers plow, plant, and build row or furrows along the natural curves of the land, not straight up and down the slope. Contour farming helps slow down water flow and prevent soil erosion on hilly or sloping farms. Ang contour farming is ga-improve siya sa water retention, reduces soil erosion, and reduces runoff.
Terracing reduces soil erosion, improves water retention, and increases arable land. So, what is terracing? Terracing is a method of farming and soil conservation on hills and slope lands. So, reduces soil erosion. When it rains on a high mountain, the water usually flows down very fast, carrying soil with it. That's called erosion. But with terraces, the water slows down because of the flat steps. This keeps the soil in place and protects it from washing away. Improves water retention. Each terraces holds water for a longer time, which means plants can drink more of it. The soil stays moist, especially in dry seasons. That is really helpful for crops. And the last, increases arable land. Terracing also gives farmers more space to plant. Even if the land is high, the step make it flat, turning hillsides into usable farmland. Mulching retains soil moisture, suppresses weeds, and regulates soil temperature. Mulching is a process of covering the soil with materials like dried leaves, grass clippings, straw, compost, or plastic sheets to protect and improve it. So the main purpose of mulching is to keep the soil moist by reducing water evaporation, prevents weeds from growing, helps keep the soil cool and reduces erosion, and as organic mulch like leaves or compost breaks down, it adds nutrients to the soil. In short, mulching keeps soil healthy, moist, and protected.
We will talk about the role of individuals in soil conservation and what we can do as students. So even as students, we can already take part in protecting and conserving the soil through simple everyday actions. First, we can reduce waste by practicing proper disposal, reusing items, and recycling whenever possible. This helps prevent soil pollution and keeps our surrounding clean. Second, we can use eco-friendly products that don't contain harmful chemicals, which helps maintain the soil's natural health. Third, we can support sustainable agriculture by joining school gardening activities or tree planting programs that promote soil protection. And lastly, We can educate others by sharing what we know about the importance of soil conservation with our families, friends, and communities. Small actions like this may seem simple, but when done together, they can create a big impact on protecting our soil and environment.
Thank you for listening.